77% of adults age 50 and older want this type of retirement lifestyle. Let's talk about it. In a previous video, I reviewed 10 of the most common retirement lifestyles. I'll link that video at the end of this video. So if you haven't seen it, you could watch it. Or you could rewatch it if you want. But of those 10 retirement lifestyles, my lifestyle includes a combination of 3 of them. Now, I had a subscriber that asked me if I could talk about my retirement lifestyle and illustrate it. And so that's the topic of today's video, my unique retirement lifestyle. Let's do this. So my retirement lifestyle provides a set of realistic qualities. What are these qualities, you ask? Well, the first one has to do with living in a familiar and a comfort zone. Living in a familiar environment can give you a sense of security. Knowing your surroundings and being mindful is critical to staying safe. So we live in a deteriorating country. There is violence all around us. You see it on the streets when you go downtown. You see it in the news when you watch news. Our ability to defend ourselves as we grow older continues to decrease. My ability to knock somebody out, long gone. As we grow older, our security and safety is becoming a bigger issue. So the second quality of my retirement lifestyle is independence. So I can maintain my independence and continue on with my daily routines without any major changes, and modifications can be made to our environment as we age and there's a need. My wife, she's 8 years younger than me. Stop that. I know what you're thinking, but I married a younger woman simply so that she can take care of me as I grow older. Living independently, that's our goal until it's not. So the third quality in our retirement lifestyle is community connections. Remaining close to family, friends, and our community has always been important to us. And it also provides for a security zone. You know, as neighbors, we're constantly checking up on each other, making sure that we're okay. And when we travel, the other neighbors will constantly watch over our house to make sure that everything is copacetic. So the fourth quality of our retirement lifestyle is cost effectiveness. So when we retired, we didn't have a lot of money, nor did we have a large retirement savings. But this type of retirement lifestyle was affordable and it was easy for us to transition to, which made it all the better. So what type of retirement lifestyle is this, Chandler? Well, I'm glad you asked. This is the stay-at-home retirement lifestyle, commonly known as aging in place, and it involves retirees choosing to live out their days, their retirement days, in their own home instead of moving to a retirement community, one of those 55 plus areas, or assisted living, or even downsizing and moving into something smaller, or any one of the 100 different type of living lifestyles that are out there. But the stay-at-home retirement lifestyle doesn't mean that we don't go anywhere or do anything. It just means that we have decided to live out our golden years in our own home. But wait, Chandler, you said that out of the 10 retirement lifestyles that you reviewed, yours was a combination of 3. You only covered 1. Well, you're absolutely right. So there's 2 more. So the second one has to do with family orientated. Well, let's talk about that. So when we retired, I tried to convince my wife to move back to the place where I was born and raised, the beautiful island of Guam. Who don't want to live on an island? That's a beautiful culture. But she said that was too far away from her kids. That's way out there in the Pacific Ocean. So that was a no-go. I tried to convince her to move to the Philippines, where our money would go a lot further. We can live like kings and queens there. But she said, too far from her kids. So I tried to get her to move to another state, another country, another planet even. And she said, too far from her kids. We weren't moving anywhere away from her kids. So we have two kids, a boy and a girl, one married, one still single. My daughter, which lives 3.5 hours from us, she has the cutest little daughter herself, 2 years old, our first grandbaby. And we love her to death and we spoil her to death. And we make frequent trips down there to visit with them. There are times too when she has come up here to stay with us while the parents are out spending quality time. Another time, it's coming up here soon. They're going to see Taylor Swift, a concert somewhere, and we get to watch the grandbaby for about a couple of days. But we enjoy that. My son lives in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, he just moved from Chicago, Illinois. You know, I had nightmares when he was up in Chicago, Illinois. That's a violent place. And he's in the security industry. Makes it even worse. And so we would always worried, always call. We've gone up there several times to visit him. So I'm glad he made a decision to move to Atlanta. You know, probably a lot less crime in Atlanta than Chicago, I think. But we'll make frequent trips to go up there and visit him. There is no plans right now to move any closer to either kid, but you never know. But one thing I do know is that we're never moving too far from these kids. So our retirement lifestyle really is family focused, our kids. So the third retirement lifestyle that is combined with the other two is a sprinkle of travel. And I say a sprinkle of travel because we really don't travel that much anymore. Because you see, I spent 23 years in the Army and I got married after being in the military for 10 years. And so we did a lot of traveling. Every 3 years, the military would move me. So we spent time in Germany and then all over Europe and then back here in the United States. We've gone from California, Texas, all the way up to Maine, down in Florida. We spent time in the Key West. You name it, we've been there. Probably the only states that we haven't touched is the northwestern states. Traveling for us is just a little different. If we travel, it's to visit family or friends. If we need a vacation, we usually rent a house on a lake or by the ocean. And we'll just chill out for 2 or 3 days. I'll bring my fishing boat and we'll go fishing. Now that's my type of vacation. You see, we really don't want to travel the world or even throughout the United States. We've already done that. And this camping thing, well, the only camping my wife is going to do is in a 5-star hotel. And me, after 23 years in the Army as an infantryman, camping outdoors is not my ideal type of vacation. I'm just glad we did all that stuff when I was physically fit and I had the energy. And our kids were at the age where they enjoyed it. So this is my retirement lifestyle. Going forward, I plan to drill down in some of these areas and show the viewers how we're living the good life. Our next video is going to be on security and safety. Why? Because that's the number one priority. As our country continues to get more violent and we continue to get older, we become more vulnerable to a lot of this stuff that's out there. We need to know how to protect ourselves, and that's what we'll be discussing. So this is Chandler's Retirement Life. It's a good life. Subscribe.